Okay, so today's video, we are going to take a look at this new Brooks saddle, and this is my first impression of this product. I've never used a Brooks product before, and I was I spent a lot of time doing some online research on various bicycle touring websites, and I came across this particular model. And while I wasn't really looking for like more of a aggressive riding style saddle, I was actually looking for more of a touring style saddle. And I'd been looking at the Brooks leather saddles, which have a long history in the cycling community and are highly regarded as one of the most comfortable saddles available. And they are, if you've never heard of a Brooks saddle, they are a leather saddle, a very thick leather saddle suspended on a metal frame. And the idea is that it's a very firm, hard leather that actually wears in over time to fit your body's anatomy. And many people use these saddles on long touring type rides or just for more upright riding position where you're putting a little more pressure on your sit bones, and so the saddles tend to be wider. But anyway, I came across this particular saddle, which is the Cambium. It's a Brooks saddle, as you can see, and it's pretty narrow compared to most of their other products. It's also a vulcanized rubber. It's not leather, so it will hold up better in wet conditions without any special treatment like a leather saddle might need. And it has a canvas top on it, which is unique in that I've never ridden a saddle with a canvas surface on it before, and I was a little apprehensive when I ordered it, but I figured, hey, I'm always up for a challenge, and why get stuck in the same old thing? Life is always about evolution, and we're constantly changing throughout our whole lives, and so hey, why not try something new? And maybe it'll be the biggest mistake ever, or it could be one of the greatest decisions I've ever made. Also, you can see I picked up a new seat post. This isn't really going to be on this bike as a long-term item, but it might. I'll never say never. But I bought this seat post to go with the saddle. I'm building up a touring bike right now. It's a Nito seat post, and here it is. It's the S83. I don't know if that means anything to you guys, but it's aluminum. It's a very well made seat post. I've been using carbon seat posts and Thompson seat posts, and I've never gone to just an aluminum Nito old school style seat post before. But wow, I'm very impressed with this product. As you will see later in this video, I ended up putting it on my titanium road bike, the one that I did a review on previously, the 50,000 mile review. And this seat post will be used for my test ride on that bike. I'm riding it on that bike because I have so much experience on that bicycle that I want to keep all the variables constant and just give you an objective review of the saddle itself without changing anything. Just the saddle and, of course, the seat post. If I were to put this on the touring bike and give you a review about that, there's so many other variables involved. It's a totally different bike, and I haven't even ridden it as much, hardly at all. So I don't know. Maybe the saddle would feel different on there. But I know this Titanium 7 extremely well, and I know its riding characteristics. I know how it feels. I've spent the better part of the last 10 years riding it on a very regular basis. And so I think my review here is quite objective. Also, I don't have any connection with Brooks. I don't know if that's obvious or not from this video. I don't even review things very much. I'm just sort of doing this because I don't know. It's very interesting to me to find new things, and hopefully, you'll get something out of this video as well. As a cyclist, this is my hobby. I love it, and I also wanted to try a non-animal product-based saddle. I know that there's some ethics involved, and it's available for those who feel that they don't want to buy a leather saddle from Brooks because they don't want to support the animal industry, and I can completely appreciate that. And just so you know, this saddle here, the Selle Italia Max Flight Gel Flow saddle, is the one that was on there before. It does have a leather top. And whether or not you agree with using leather products, it does have leather, and a good majority of high-end cycling saddles do. However, this new Brooks saddle does not have leather. It's vulcanized rubber and canvas and aluminum with an aluminum or stainless steel frame. So if you're in that market and you want a very nice sort of streamlined cycling saddle that's set up like more of an aggressive road riding position, that's what the C15 is. They do make a C17, and that's a little bit wider than this one. It probably rides more like a touring saddle. This one, I specifically bought it because I wanted to compare it to my cycling, the saddle for my road bike that I normally use. So here it is. I'm showing you kind of a comparison between the Selle Italia Max Flight Gel Flow saddle, which has the center cutout, and as you can see, it's pretty much the same length, and in fact, it's the same, more or less the same width. So it's not a fat, wide saddle like the C7. The C17 is much wider than this one. And you can see from the sides that the profile even is very similar. It's a very streamlined saddle. And here it is on the bike now. Very nice looking saddle. So I will leave it at that. So far, I have taken the bike out for one quick 18-mile ride, and I was completely impressed beyond belief with how comfortable this saddle was. Better than the Selle Italia saddle that was on here before. My impression of it is that it's so unbelievably comfortable from the very start. Obviously, I'm going to take it out for a much longer test ride here very soon. But being somebody that's ridden on this particular bike for this particular number of miles, I have a very positive impression of the saddle so far. It actually felt like my cadence was much smoother. My pedal stroke was much I wouldn't say much smoother in the sense that it's a smooth pedal stroke anyway, but I didn't feel as much resistance. Maybe that's the better way to say it, is I didn't feel as much resistance in my thighs against the saddle as I did on the Selle Italia. In fact, I felt more like planted on the saddle. The canvas top I had read some reviews about the canvas sort of being more friction, so you wouldn't move around as easily in cycling shorts. And by the way, I rode this saddle in cycling shorts with a padded cycling shorts, basically like Assos brand cycling shorts. So there's a nice chamois on that in that particular cycling short. So some people had reviewed that the canvas made it seem like they were gripping to the saddle, but that they eventually wore that in and it became smoother and slipperier. I didn't notice that being at all a problem. In fact, I liked the way I felt on the saddle. I wasn't sliding off of it like some saddles are so slippery you feel like you're just going to slide right off. This was like perfect. it kept me, it kept me on the saddle, but it was able to move around a little bit and not pull on anything. It didn't seem like there was excessive friction. So I don't know. I am so far incredibly pleased. In fact, I'm so pleased at this point that I may make this saddle my permanent fixture for this bike. So anyway, that is my first impression of the Brooks Cambium C15 vulcanized rubber canvas topped saddle. I am super excited about it, and I am very much considering going to now purchase a C13, which is even a little narrower, and it's just a lot lighter. And I have another high-end, super lightweight racing bike, carbon fiber, the whole 9 yards, that I want to have a sweet, lightweight racing bike with a sweet Brooks saddle on it. I'm definitely going to consider that option. And I'm going to be test riding a leather Brooks saddle on perhaps on the titanium bike here, or on the touring bike that I am currently setting up for road for roundineering type brevet type rides that I will be possibly doing some reviews there. So again, I know there's some people out there that are looking for a saddle. They're perhaps looking for something that is not leather. There's the entire ethics around using leather products that some people may not want to support, but in this case, you can still have a comfortable saddle, not support the leather industries and the animal commodification industries, and still ride a very comfortable saddle. So there you go. That's it. And if you have any comments about this, please post them in the comments section. And also, if you have any points about the ethics of leather, I'd really like to hear your comments on that. I know it's becoming more and more prevalent in our online community to talk about these things, and so I have my thoughts on it, but I would definitely like to hear others as well. So anyway, have a nice day, and thanks for watching.